questions to be put into a queue, and then I will ask you to unmute yourself, and then you can ask your question. First question from John Diest. John, as soon as your microphone's active, you can go ahead.
Hey, Dave, I just had a question, and maybe you don't have any experience with Coach Jeremy Colleton, but have you ever met him before this series? Do you have any information about him, and what's it like coaching against a younger coach like him?
Yeah, I've met Jeremy a couple times. We actually have some mutual friends. We've got some history together in Prince Albert, so it's known about him for a long time. And obviously, he's a good coach. When you look at Chicago bringing a young guy like that in with the guy that used to be there, they have full confidence in him, and obviously, he's done a good job.
Next question, Ryan Rashad. Go ahead, Ryan.
Dave, are you prepared at this point to announce who your starting goaltender is tonight and what your reasoning is?
Our starting goaltender is Koskinen.
Next question, Jim Matheson. Jim, as soon as your microphone's active, you can ask your question. Go ahead.
Dave, are you prepared to maybe switch up your forward lines and maybe move Ennis on with Connor and put Nuge back with Leon? And
we've got everybody available tonight. We'll sort that out as we go on here.
Thank you. Reminder to ask your questions, use the raise hand function. Another question from Jim Matheson. Jim, as soon as your microphone's active, go ahead.
Must not be many people on this conference call on a holiday Monday. I have a couple of questions. One, Athanasiou hardly played last game. Is that because there were a lot of power plays in the game? And the other question I have for you is, several of the coaches are wearing tracksuits and stuff behind the bench now. You're wearing a shirt and a tie. Have you thought about switching it up?
No, we had talked about it a couple of weeks ago, what we, just the different options, and talked about warmth and safety and everything. And ultimately it came back to, we wanted to make this as normal as possible. Coaches wear suit and tie during the game in a normal game, and that was the mindset behind our decision to do that. But there was some concern about, there's lots of water and splashing and stuff going on behind those benches, and the ability to get things in and out of dry cleaning and cleaned and stuff like that. So there were some teams that had concerns, but we decided to go with the suit and tie. What was the other question?
Athanasiou.
Oh yeah, AA. Yeah, he got lost a little bit in some shuffle there with the special teams. He was all right, but he's a player. We're looking for him to bring some speed and energy to our lineup, and we'll see where it goes tonight.
Next question, Derek Van Diest. Derek, as soon as your microphone's active, you can go ahead.
Hi, Dave. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, when you look back at your penalty kill, I know Chicago scored a few power play goals. What did you see in there, and is there something that you can kind of tweak, or did the Blackhawks do something kind of that maybe you weren't ready for on their power play?
No, we did. Everybody's pre-scouted. You know what they're going to do. We made a couple of errors. First one, we had a couple defensemen caught in the corner and fell down and left us vulnerable in some layers. So we gave up the first one there. The last one was a deflection that was actually, the shot was going about 3 feet wide and deflecting going in. So we've looked at it. There's some areas that we think we can improve on, but it was like the rest of our game. We weren't good enough. We'll have to improve tonight.
Next question from Mark Spector. Mark, go ahead.
Dave, talk to us about pressure a little bit. Obviously you got to win this game. You're down 2-0. Are you okay with your players feeling a fair bit of pressure here and reacting hopefully the right way to it? Or as a coach, do you try to take the pressure off?
Well, I think you have to recognize the situation you're in, whether you call it pressure or we got to prepare to win a game. And that's as simple as that. We know we have to be better than we were in game one. There's pressure for us to play better, but also you recognize the situation you're in. You've got to find a way to win a game to get it to best of 3, and that's what our goal is tonight. But we're going to find out a lot about our team. How we play tonight, how we deal with going out in a must-win game. Let's see how we react.
Next question, Jim Matheson. Jim, as soon as your microphone's active, you can go ahead. Perhaps not. Okay, we'll go to Ryan Rashog. Ryan, as soon as your microphone's active, go ahead.
Thanks, Andre. Dave, can you maybe just discuss the quality of game that Koskinen had given you through large chunks of the year? And though he doesn't have a ton of experience in this particular arena, and he does have some from the KHL, and how you think he'll handle the pressure of NHL playoff hockey?
I don't look at Koski as inexperienced. He's got lots of experience. He's it's not like he's a young guy getting thrown out there for the first time. So he's a steady guy. He'll go in and he'll give us a solid game. And we've talked about that since day one of the season. We've got two goaltenders we feel like can play, and our team will play well in front of either of them. And so Koski will get the start tonight, and we expect them to play well.
We'll try Jim Matheson again. Jim, go ahead.
Dave, the incident with Tyler Ennis and Drake Caggiula, at the time, did you think, oh, that's a hit to the head, and why are they not calling a penalty? Because Ennis got a penalty right after that for delay of game, and yet it was fairly obvious if you saw a replay that he creased him in the head.
That's exactly. On the bench, we talked about it, very obvious. Thought it was a dangerous hit, but when there's no call, there's nothing you can do about it. You got to move on. The league took care of it.
Okay, we'll take another question from Ryan Rashog. Ryan, go ahead.
Dave, have you had much in the way of interactions with your captain the last couple of days? What's your sense of kind of where his head is at and his level of readiness after what happened in game one?
We've had lots of conversations with all our players and together, and Connor's certainly a part of that. We just recognize our group. We didn't play to the level we would have liked to or wanted to, and there's some things that we can do a lot better in this game, and we expect to do that. And Connor's no different than anybody else in our lineup. He wants to be better.
Thank you very much, Coach Tippett. Thanks to members of the media. That brings to an end today's media availability.